Start off with this map that shows all the oil is near the Igbo land and the Niger Delta and the oil and gas and oil producing areas. If you look at the oil production and income per capita, that's the chart from 1960 to 2010. Now I'm gonna, this also shows you where some of the cities I was talking to you about. Up in the top right, you have Maiduguri. Below it, you have Yola. In the center top, Kano. Below it, Jos. Center top left, you have Gusau. Below that, to the bottom left, you have Lorin, and you have Lagos, and you have Wari, Port Harcourt. Okay, so we go on to the next chart. This chart shows you the different wealth distributions in the different states and districts. And here you have the city of Benin. Up here you have Niger, Cameroon, etc. Here you have Oyo. It's one of the wealthy districts in the south by Yorbaland, right by the ports. Very wealthy districts by the Delta, basically by Igbo land and small tribal lands in the area. And I'll show you who's, it's by the Ibibos as well. I'll show you in a second how it breaks down. And we go here to the Yoruba, and then you have the Ijao with the Niger Delta tribes. They have most of the oil, but some of it's in Igbo land, some of it's in Ibibo land, like I was saying before. Then you have the Efek, and then you have the Ikoi. And then, so you have Edo, Igala, and you go up here, you have the Boko Baru, you have the Kambari tribes, the Zulu, the Kaj, they have Brom, you have the Teruk, you have the Mumi, you have the Sumyev, you have the Jibu, Jukanoid, and there's many other tribal groups as well. These are just some of the major ethnic groups. And you have the House of Fulani, the two tribes that mix together, and they control, as you can see, they control most of the north. And we go on to the next chart. Well, I guess that about sums it up. So I'm going to end this map by showing you the tribal lands. Okay, so obviously, when you have the map of Africa going left from Nigeria, we're talking about Benin, then Togo, then Ghana. Then we're drifting off into the area of the Ivory Coast, and Guinea, and Sierra Leone, and Senegal, and Mauritania, excuse me. And then you have Morocco, of course, on the top, and then you have all those beautiful countries, Algeria, Tunisia, and all the stuff in North Africa. Anyway, so it's important to remember that this map is key to what's going on. I'm going to talk a little bit about what's been going on in the news, okay? I'm going to reference my notes for this one. I forced myself to remember all those countries in that order. There's a reason for that, and I'll get into that in another video. Anyway, January 20th, you had the Boko Haram attack in Kano that killed 143 people. You had the attack yesterday and earlier this morning that killed over 120 people. Okay, keep in mind that last year, on December 25th, you had the attack on the Catholic Church in Madala, which killed 42 people. Some of this is also from the news. I think it was BBC. I'll put in my references anyway. In December 22nd, you had sect members that were fighting with the police in Damaturu. So then you go on, you had the Maiduguri bombings that left 4 dead and 100 people were killed. Between the bombings and the shooting attacks, where the sect members went through the building shooting people, and those bombs went off to kill 4 people. Anyway, just to clarify that, we go on to August 26th. This is going backwards. 2011, a sect member detonates explosives, and 25 people are killed and 100 wounded. June 16th, a carload of explosives detonates at the federal capital. Okay, we go on. April 9th, 2011, gunmen from the sect set fire to Maiduguri International Hotel and kill a politician. April 8th, bomb allegedly planted at the sect's explodes at an election office in Seluja in Niger State, killing 16 people. Gunmen with the sect shoot and kill the leading candidate for the Borno State in January 28th. December 31st, you have the military barracks attacks that killed 4 people and bomb exploded, and by the beer garden as well. And December 24th, you had a series of bombs, and in the city of Jos, they killed 80 people. September 7th, in 2010, you have the gunmen freeing 700 inmates. That's where some of the reinforcements came. In 2009, you had the 700 people that get killed when they riot in Maiduguri because they're pissed off. And the security crackdown hits as well. And in 2009, hundreds of people were killed when they stormed this police station in Maiduguri as well. And the leader, Muhammad Yusuf, was captured and killed. And in 2002, it was founded. So now you have the emir that I showed you before, and you have this guy who escaped from prison. And you have the emir of Abeja, him and his 2 sons were arrested, and you have the spiritual head of Boko Haram still wanted on the run. So there's a lot of going on. It's important to note that it has to do with the oil, it has to do with who has the oil, and it has to do with surgical strikes against the Igbo nation by the scum. And it should be the other way around. They're killing the politicians, they're going after the oil, they're taking over the military, they're doing this in a calculated fashion that is quite sickening. So, whether we're talking about Kabaru, this guy, Sokoto, the Sardinia of Sokoto. Remember, Sokoto is in the top left in House of Fulani land. Let me show you, see right here. This is where some of the violence has been going on here in Sokoto. And as well as in Jos, right here in the central region. Then in the Delta region, the Ijad tribe down here, some of the strife over the oil. I don't know if you can see that well on camera. Let me put this up and see where. Okay, you can see it. Okay, this is the Ija area. This is Lagos, the old capital before they moved it to Abuja, right here toward the north in the central region. So, a lot of the violence is going to be over here in House of Fulani territory, which is where the terrorists are. And then you have this kind of central region, which is kind of split between Christians and Muslims that live together, and they have small communities that fight with each other. And then, of course, you had some attacks in Kaduna as well. And I'll end it right there. Thank you. This video by being on record saying, Lucifer, you're a bitch. You're a pussy. This Kabaru fucking pussy, Kabaru Sokoto, he's a scumbag. It's no coincidence his name's Sokoto, and I told you Sokoto on record. I told you it was witch guys on record. And who was it? The Emir of Abaji. Okay? Exactly what I've been telling you. Another thing I was right about. And this guy confirms his fucking guilt when he escapes the police station in a shootout. Now, in Kano, an hour ago it was in the news, one of the news that I go to, on the news sites, that Boko Haram strikes again. And according to the Red Cross, many people have been killed. And the Emir of Abeji, has been arrested. So what is going on here, Kabaru? What is going on here, Emir? What is going on here, Good Luck? Your government is being infiltrated with traitors. And they couldn't infiltrate you as easily because you were carefully chosen already by the tribal peoples of that nation. It is the scum and the foreign interests who are assisting the local rabble in extorting the Nigerian government. I suggest that a majority of Muslims who have any kind of suspicion on them at all be given administrative leave disarmed immediately through the security forces. The security forces should be made up of 80% Christians, at least. Make sure that the arms are in the hands of the Christians. So if the terrorists attempt to use their fellow Muslims to cause a civil war, they will lose immediately. I demand that all Muslim heads of the security forces step down. I demand that Muhammad step down. I demand that all Muslims who are in the army of Nigeria, in the security forces of Nigeria, in the local police forces, local police captains, all step down. The only way we're going to resolve this problem is if Muslims temporarily step down from military positions and police offices as well. Thank you.